Good evening. This is Primetime with Independent Thinker, streaming from the great studios, Love 97, Thompson Boulevard. Tonight, I want to talk some nation building, independence, where we was, where we are, state of affairs, and some of the headlines that need some commentary. But before I do so, I must make a mention about the past statements that was made by me in reference to going on the road. The plans are still in the process. We should be on the road by September 1st. We should be on the road, and we'll be taking sound bites from ordinary citizens and commentary from Bahamians on different issues at different times, different places. We'll be all over. I'm going to try my best to reach every single island that is inhabited before the next general election. And we'll be doing some documentary at the same time. And I am proposing to carry at least one listener or two listeners, because I'm going to use just a 5-seater. And I got to carry my production persons who will control the camera and the mic. And I'll carry a listener, a different listener, to the family island, whichever island or key I'm going to. I'm going to try and carry at least one or two every trip, a different one now. So, who all listening in, if you put questions and you send a note that you would like to go, when I'm traveling, I will have at least one or two seat and a 5-seater available for each trip. When we go to the family island, the plane will be waiting on us. So it'll only be maybe a 2 hours or 3 hour time frame. We just will go and interview, drive from one end of the island to the next. So, different islands will be quicker, some will be a little longer. And, so that's the plan. The plan is to interview different persons on each island. And maybe bring the island to Nassau. They all will be placed on YouTube, on my Facebook page, on Instagram, on TikTok as we go along. And also, I said that I'll be doing a stop by of each constituency office when I go on the family island. But for now, we are trying to reach one or two persons on each island and find out what is happening, what the MP is doing, as their office open every day through the week on weekdays. Because you must remember that every member of parliament gets $100,000 a year, $25,000 every quarter. That's every 3 months they get. I must say that. I must state this clearly. Every single member of parliament gets $25,000 for their constituency. That is not their salary. That is not for their sweetheart if they have any. That is not for their concubines or friends and lovers. That's for the constituents. $25,000, right? Because I be on the radio and plenty persons come stop me, if I can help them do this. I help plenty persons do the roof, mowing blue cannabis and all kind of thing, and fixing boxing. I sell people as much as I could, but they must remember, I said I will announce tonight, that every single member of parliament get $25,000 every 3 months. That's $100,000 a year. And dying for them, dying the MP salary, dying the cabinet salary, that's money that was allocated for members of the public who in their constituency, who they represent. So mine helps like repairing a hole in the roof, you pipe breaking the wall and all kind of thing. The member of parliament getting money for that. And that ain't their money. But I'll tell you how worthless and good for nothing there for them is. They put where the $25,000 go on the members of parliament account, except for about 3 or 4 of them who say, no, I rather create an account to my constituency and put the money there. I will name 2 out of the 4. The Honorable Prime Minister don't get the $25,000 to his account, and the Honorable Alfred says. Now the other 2, I ain't calling name, but if I call the name, then the rest won't doing it. But the $25,000 are not their money. So y'all can call the contingency office when you have minor things and contingencies to do or things to happen or the money, they said they got that money there. I don't know why the F and M, and I don't know in the wisdom of the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, see in sending the money to somebody's account. It's hard to get it back off. Because you send the money to someone's account and you expect them to draw the $25,000 every quarter off to help people in contingency. Boy, that's strange, eh? That's very strange. And as a result, plenty contingency office ain't open. They say they're using some of the money to pay the rent for your contingency office, to pay the light bill. Open, and we will give you your independence present next week Thursday. We'll let the people know who all office ain't being open, who all office ain't using that $25,000 in the contingency. We will let all the cats out the bag. For government ministers and cabinet ministers and members of parliament and the opposition. But one of the shocker is that the opposition, who's supposed to be the government in waiting, is doing worse than the members of parliament who in power. It appears that the Free National Movement is doing their best to see that the PLP return to governance when the bell ring. Because if you want to win government, all your offices supposed to be open. The opposition party is considered under this Westminster system that you are a government in waiting. But if you ain't got your constituency office open, you collecting the $25,000 every 3 quarters, right? And you ain't got your office, you ain't serious, man. You all just hope the people vote against the PLP and you all end up winning. You end up in power because they vote against the government. Boy, people change in this country. I can tell you, don't fall upon this, and then go on and say every 5 years government will change. You all start to believe in the foolishness. Trust me. And I must note that Cable Bahamas, I gotta say this before I start the show. Cable Bahamas, I had some bad service with them. I had service for 3 months at my place on Wolf Road, right? No internet for 3 months. They turned around and sent me a bill for $472, right? I had no service with no internet for 3 months. Then they turned around and said I must pay them $472. Then they could re-credit my account after I didn't pay it in order for me to continue service while they holding my deposit. So I went and I paid the $470. They sent back a credit for $60, right? After I had internet for 3 months. When they could see in their system that I had no internet for 3 months to the business, to a business for 3 months. Then they credited back my account with $470, $60, right? I don't understand what I could do. I don't understand. I mean, I could could give my good friend, Rupert Pinder, an opportunity because he's a talented, brilliant Bahamian, right? But you all that wake up, you all need to do better, man. Bahamians are catching eternal hell from majority of these businesses in this country, especially Cable Bahamas. I mean, what else you all want Bahamian to do, man? They're taking advantage of Bahamian. They charge you late fee. They charge you all these exorbitant costs and fees and stuff. And then they still giving you bad service. And then it appears that they still have the monopoly on Bahamian people. I mean, what is the purpose of all those high salary America? Next week, there will be some expose. Guarantee you, because listen, people tired, but I tired. See, people been complaining to me, but I tired, I can get me. You see, I complain for other persons, but it's me now. You see, and listen, 3 months without internet at a business establishment, and then when they come back, they tell me I have to pay almost $500. And when I pay it, then they credit me back $60. Tell me I gotta call another number. Every time you call the next number, they're telling you all the agents are busy. For 4 weeks now, all agents, just only thing is coming on when you call the number. The 302 number. All agents are busy. They will get back to you, leave a voice message. I mean, that's only an answering machine telling you that. It's no, because there's never nobody there to come back in 4 weeks. If business that good, tell you no agents can never be available in 4 weeks. You keep calling. I used to call, no leave no message. I just start leaving message to show that I have a record that I call in. It's just a nonsense, just bad service and a disrespect to the baby people. When the Free National Movement allowed killed bombers, and the former Prime Minister Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram allowed killed bombers here, right? The Indians was happy and glad because we never had a cable service, right? But they been taking advantage of the Bahamian people for too long, man. You understand? And, by next week, I can start advertising free for any other internet services in the world. And Starlink, Elon Musk, end up being one of them. Because I'm tired, man. Just a disgrace. And I couldn't even do better. I mean, it could appear to be a waste of time. I won't go that far yet, but next week, there could be some trouble in the camp. I guarantee you that. Because people tired of them, man. They got you tied on tree. And you forced to accept their bad, worthless service. Like you ain't, listen, I come in the cable bombers, my money, my deposit, I need my deposit. I can come back for my deposit. I can find, either I can do it without the internet service or try to find some in some other country around the world or something. Because this don't make no sense. It's a disgrace. And listen, I don't know who international body, the FCC or whatever international compliance agency in the world you need to go to. But it's a disgrace what happened to people, man. And the government need to do something about it. You tired of them, man. Bad service. I mean, you 3 months, no internet. The man come there, going up on the pole, fix the problem. He say he acknowledge the problem, that I couldn't get no internet because what's happened on the pole. I don't go up on no pole, so I know the problem there. And then you could charge me $500. Then you could turn around, credit me back $60 or the 3 months of no service. But you need to do better, man. And people just need to fight all over now, man. And it's closed down from Usman to that. I mean, all them money that come from, they need to soon cover it anyhow. Next week, I guarantee you, people tired of them, man. I can advertise for people to start getting some service from around the world or Miami. West Marine selling Starlink. It's the internet you rest on top of your roof. And you can use it for marine and house. People tired of the cable house, man. Bad service and worthless, man. Get from around here, they come to this country, man. Listen, good evening, good evening, my guest. My guest has arrived and he said, Jay, I just tired of them, man. From one bad service to the next, and it feels like nobody you could turn to, and you just lose your money. I don't understand why the former Prime Minister Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram just allowed a Canadian to bring this garbage, man. You can't keep on losing your money like that, man. They want people to do stupid things. People work hard for their money, sun hot. Good evening, Mr. Thompson, man. I just tired of them, man. I just said it's just like we ain't got nowhere to turn to. We just gotta absorb it and just allow it and just go along and don't wipe it. That's like, nobody who you really could turn to. I called Uber Pinder tomorrow and I can see if I get some answer from my command. Because it's just a disgrace, man. Kill Bahamas, them is garbage. Good evening, Mr. Thompson.
Good evening. Good evening.
Well, long time no see.
Yeah, man. It's a good while since I spoke to you. And I was delighted when you called me this evening.
Yes, sir. Because my mind was on you. When I say I talk in independence, I got to talk to the scholar, constitutional scholar. You know what I mean? You sit many nights and talk about the issues and concerns of this country. And when I say, well, find someone who's senior, who knows when's coming to Bahamas, my mind on you. Only two you all my mind on right then. Now, so what if you could do it? But you and God rest their day Loftus Ruger. Right, meetings to sit plenty time and chat.
Yes.
And he try bring me back to bring me forward.
Yes.
And you is one of them who do the same thing for years when you sit and talk on the talk shows and reference the issues of this country.
Yes.
But I was beginning the show by stating that independence next week.
Yes, it is.
Do you feel as a senior citizen, you're only a senior citizen, you're a senior citizen
That's right.
in the Bahamas, are you feeling the independence groove or mood today and on the 4th of July 2024? Are you feeling it before I start?
Oh, okay, but let me just put it in perspective. Good evening to your radio audience. The thing is that too many negative things have been happening in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The pressure is very heavy on the average person. I see it in the people in my own area, where I live, Portland Castle and the surrounding areas. We have to find a way to deal with these pressures. And I heard what you said and the bad service of the company concerned. Bahamians don't have to put up with it, that's number one. There is something you can do about it. And I am not going to blame people for complaining, but I always ask the question on my show, what are you prepared to do about it? Because I said to people, you're going to have to take some unusual constitutional action. There are options that the Bahamian people have to deal with a government that turns sour, to deal with a company that turns sour. The question is, have we lost the fighting spirit that our forefathers and mothers showed us? We don't have that unity. Something went wrong over the last 51 years. It started off small and then it gradually built up, because you have to ask yourself, what has happened to that spirit that our mothers and fathers had? Where is it today? What are we fighting for? Are we fighting for anything? Are we concerned about the issues that affect us directly? It appears very strongly, in my view, that the Bahamian people have lost something. Can we recapture it? Yes, we can. What is it going to take to recapture it? See, you have a lot of people talking about building a nation. What are you using to build this nation? There are other groups who want to run the country, take over the government of the Bahamas. By what means? What is your standard? What is it that you prepare? Then you have those who got a vision for the Bahamas. This particular person has a vision, that particular person has a vision, that particular group has a vision. We are extremely divided as Bahamians. Now, all among us are not Bahamians. And there are many pretenders that have been allowed to stay here. And they've gotten citizenship by fraud. We've gone very deep into the citizenship issue. And there are many loopholes, many things that are not constitutionally sound. And of course, the Patriots, a group that I'm affiliated with, has taken legal action against the government of the Bahamas. We believe the case is rock solid, constitutionally sound. And we wanted it to be that way, and we took our time to make sure that that's the way it was. And the attorney we have, he said he's going to add more to it, which he did. And we're just waiting now to see the court to get to move on it.
So you all are before the Supreme Court?
Yeah, the Supreme Court, yeah.
You hasn't get the first hearings yet?
No, we haven't had
It hasn't even it hasn't given you all the dates yet?
No, we don't have the datas yet, but we are working on that and pushing for it. Our Patriot team is going to meet next Wednesday. And
On Independence Day?
Yeah, on Independence Day. All of them agreed to come on Independence Day. The thing is, there are some issues that we need to look at very seriously. And I told them that, you know, a lot of people want to be members of the Patriots, but there are some other issues that we have to settle first before we open up to the public. Because many, many people have been looking at what we have out there publicly, and they're all excited about it. That's fine, that's all well and good. But we cannot allow the noise of the market to cause us to make decisions that are not in the best interest of the Patriots or the Bahamian people. So you got to look out for the two. The interest of the Patriots, the interest of the Bahamian people. We want everything to be run by the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That is what we stand for. Nothing the Patriots are involved in will be unconstitutional. That's the bottom line. So we let people know that right off the top. If you're not going to be constitutionally sound, then don't come this way, because we don't need you. The country is suffering badly. 51 years we've been going down this tube. Those who were given, and I say this all the time on my shows, those who were given the responsibility to run this country, they're the real culprits. They are the real culprits that have this country in the crap it's in right now. That's a hardcore fact. The Office of Attorney General, particularly the Attorney General is the chief legal advisor to the government. That particular office has been giving out very bad advice to the government and to the Parliament of the Bahamas.
Well, I wouldn't say they are being given out very bad advice. They might be given bad advice, just that the advice might be being considered.
It is not constitutionally sound.
No, I know, but what I'm saying to you is they might be giving good constitutional advice, but has successive governments taken those advice?
From what now that's a different kettle of fish.
All right then.
Okay, now let me put it this way. From what I heard from the Attorney General himself, and we have made note of it, what he has written, what he has said publicly, that's what we are going by. That information is not constitutionally sound.
Okay, well that's a different kettle of fish there. But I tell you, the Westminster system has proven over the years, in my humble opinion, that it creates a king without the title. The country follows the direction or lead of one man. If there are bad thoughts, ideas, or plans formulated, and whoever's leading the country, that's the direction the country goes. And I'll give you an example. In 2011, the leader decides that Patelco needs to be sold for whatever reason, not whatever reasons in his head.
Yes.
And Patelco, 51%, was sold to a foreign company.
Yes.
Patelco is one of the only cooperation that gave the government profit. Why would you sell the only cooperation that is considered a cash cow, giving you over $100 million a year? Why would you sell that to a private company, or a portion of that to a private company? So it clearly shows that the Westminster system creates a king without the king title, which result bad ideas the country must follow, have to follow. Because in order to be the prime minister of this country, you must enjoy the majority. Once you have the majority of them hasn't earned their status in the country by through a plan, a vision, their works over the years. The majority was a part of a party. Being a part of that party, the party win, and they then become rulers of the citizens of the Bahamas, which resulting if they don't have to prepare a plan. We don't judge them based on their foresight and their plan for the country. People vote party, result in the state of affairs that the Bahamas is in today, 2024, through successive government.
Now, I'm not going to disagree with you about people voting party. That's the crux of the problem right there. We do not have, the country itself doesn't have to bend to the Prime Minister.
No, we don't have to.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. But what has been happening is that you said it correctly. People have been voting for a particular party. And of course, the leader of that particular party who wins in a general election in the House of Assembly, and since the majority of the members of that House supports that particular personality, that individual is recommended to the Governor General to become the Prime Minister. That's constitutional, and I have a problem with that.
That needs to change.
Well, you have to work with your Constitution.
No, but we can amend the Constitution.
I'm not saying we can't amend it.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, we have to get this problem out of the way, where the people have it in their head. Every time when I do a live radio show, I'm talking about the government of Bahamas, and then you have people calling into the show and they're talking about party. You have people sending it on Facebook, party, this party, that party, the next party. I don't have any problems with political parties because the Constitution says you can have them. The political party is different from the government of the Bahamas. You can have your party, but you don't have to be the government of the Bahamas. This is a major obstacle in causing people to understand their responsibility as citizens of this country.
And you're right.
That's a major problem.
It's a different. It's a distinct difference
Yes.
between party and government. And some persons appears refuse to differentiate one from the other.
No, that is true.
You see,
That
because
is
your
correct.
party can have a ton of ideas and plans, but listen, when it's the government needs to decide based on the best interest of 50 plus 1,
Yes.
the majority of Davids.
That is correct.
So it's totally different. They
Right.
just have to, they need to create that difference.
Now, the people do not have to vote for a party candidate. Now, let me explain that, because I say this all the time on radio. I've been saying it for several years, but it has to penetrate into the psyche of the Bahamian people. The mere fact that they have government and party intertwined is the challenge. Okay? A political party puts up a candidate in a given constituency or a series of candidates in any number of constituencies. You can be a member of that particular party or a follower of that particular party. You don't have to vote for that candidate in your particular constituency. Just like I used the analogy with St. Barnabas Church and BTC. You're a member of St. Barnabas Church, but when you go to BTC, you don't tell the people at BTC, I'm a member of St. Barnabas Church. Neither do you tell the people at BTC or St. Barnabas Church, I work for BTC. Because those other people in the church work for other companies as well. There are other people who go to churches who work for BTC. When you go to BTC, you do the job of BTC. When you go to St. Barnabas Church, you worship with those other members who go to other jobs in other places.
Let me take this call. Hold your thought. Primetime with Independent Nigga. Hello? Caller, you're live. Go ahead, caller. Person, maybe hold them on hold. I didn't see them. I didn't see them. Call on the board that quick. 326-8255. 326-8255. 322-5477. 322-5477. In studio with me is constitutional scholar, Mr. Sidney Thompson. He's, listen, I Sidney, I dig a lesson.
Tell him the full name. Sidney
MacArthur Walter Thompson.
There's only one of them on the planet.
Yeah, but we had some good times and
Yes,
years
we did.
going by. We used to
Yes,
sit
we
down
did.
and we used to chat for
Yeah,
an hour
man.
and a half.
I remember
we had,
those
yeah,
times.
yeah, we had some
I
good
remember
times.
those
But I am one of the advocate for change to the Constitution and to legislation in this country. I talk about our overhaul because we could be the most blessed, richest little nation in the world.
Yes.
But we have to change some things.
No,
we
we
cannot change the status quo on the trajectory that we headed.
No, we can't.
We have to change some things.
Yes, we do.
There are some. I was educated today of a movement called Stop the Steal.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
They put me a part of their group, and it's a movement.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And I was shocked because some of the things they are saying, at least what I was briefed on, was some of the things that I talked about some 5 years ago. Right?
Yes.
About this, I have a movement called the Bahamas Brothers Movement that was started in 2015.
Yes.
Right? And they're talking about constitutional amendments and creating, sending legislation to the government and all.
Yes.
There were things I was saying from 2015. That's 9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I even didn't know that there were a movement and some over 5,000 members.
Uh-huh.
And I was shocked. I salute some Bahamians I salute them. They're working hard and they're getting some things happen
Yeah.
and they're gathering support because, for years. And history will prove that when the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, was forcing the Free National Movement cabinet ministers to go along with the idea of the 51% to cable and wireless.
Yes.
We was on Bay Street,
Yeah, we will.
and at least one of the main phrases and quotes that I get from the former Prime Minister was that the numbers outside ain't enough to stop us. And he was right. We had maybe about 500-600 members being on Bay Street,
Yes.
protesting by the assembly.
Yes.
And he said that was insufficient. He said numbers would stop at numbers. We didn't have the numbers.
Okay.
And they continue. The Free National Movement members continuously find ways to justify the reason for them supporting the giveaway. And some of them said that it's more than one way to skin a cat. One member of parliament on the former FNM administration, the next one on the former FNM cabinet, he said that 51 and 49 is the same thing. I know who school school he been to. We'll teach him how to count.
Exactly.
Say 51 and 49 is the same thing.
Yeah.
And then you had one who said that he's prepared to support the sale to watch Law and Order on the beach. I remember that because they hurt me.
Yeah.
Because, anyone in their mind know that was a bad deal. Who's allowed the company who's purchasing 51% of an ex company,
right,
use their accounting firm to evaluate the cost and the value of another company?
Yes.
You're using the company who purchases 51%, their accounting firm. Never mind their good reputation, they're not gonna do that. It just don't work like that.
Yes.
No place in the world.
Yes.
Then we turn around and allow the Free National Movement to leave 56 or 60 or whatever the correct number is, millions of dollars in the account for the new company who buy the 51%,
yes,
to meet on the account when they reach.
Right.
Who's do that? If I sell you my car, right, for $8,000, and when you jump in the car to pull off, I got $7,000 or the $8,000 in the ashtray while you pulling off. Who's do that?
Nobody.
I mean, who does do that? And the Free National Movement did that to the Bahamian people. And it's the same people who they come back, knock on their door, and vote for them.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to change the system, Mr. Thompson. The system gotta change. It's failing the Bahamian people, and it's what caused the debt to GDP in this country at $14 billion. If we continue this trajectory, we're gonna be a failed nation. I hate to speak it, but it's the truth.
No, let me put it this way.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing wrong with the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Now, I will agree with you that there are some changes that could be made to it. But the Bahamian people need to understand the document itself so they could be able to understand what they would like to see change in it. The problem over the last 51 years has been a major national problem where the government of Bahamas never ever took those principles outlined in the preamble, a national commitment to specific things for the preservation of our freedom. If you don't do those things, you have no freedom. That's why the country is so divided today, and you have so many people who come up with their own vision. The Constitution gives you the vision for the Bahamian people. It is not in one particular personality, because this is why you have all of this confusion. I know an ambassador said that he took the position with this particular administration because of the vision of that particular personality who is head of the government. To me, when you put a personal vision to try to cover a national a nation, that poses problems, because you do not have something that all of the people could buy into. Now, the Constitution is the only document you can get the majority of the people to buy into once they understand how it works. The fact that we have a problem where even today, I was very angry when I was listening to the radio, and I got to speak to that tomorrow on my show, because I had some guests come in today. The point is that people are giving misinformation. I won't use another word, but this is misinformation which has been going on for 51 years. That is wrong. And people are all confused. You hear people say, we're not an independent nation. What do you mean we're not an independent nation? Because we don't have an army. We have to be like this one.
Well, I ain't why we're not independent.
No, but these are the kind of things you should hear what one woman say. What independence means to her. Going to the United States to shop.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but Mr. Thompson, we're going to take a break. You only told me to take a break. You take a much commercial break. When we come back, we continue my conversation with my guest, my constitutional scholar, Sidney Bakara Walton Thompson's in the chair, constitutional scholar. We're going to continue our conversation when we come back after the first commercial break. Producer, let's go to the break. When we come back, continue. Special guest, Primetime with Independent.
Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. But at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, we hear it every day. It's a word we've dedicated our lives to overcoming by changing the way patients are treated. And now we're part of City of Hope, which is one of the nation's top 10 cancer hospitals. Together, we'll combine leading-edge clinical research with precision cancer treatment, so we can be there when you need us most. So when you hear the word cancer, there's another word that should come to mind: hope. Call now.
Great Soul Love 97, this is Primetime with Independent Thinker and my special guest in studio, the constitutional scholar, Mr. Sidney McCarter Walter Thompson. He's in the chair. Listen, and the question tonight, are we independent? And I put it to Mr. Thompson that we are not fully independent. I'm not saying that we are semi-independent, but we are not fully independent, but he'll tell you and explain to you, the listening audience, where he believes that we are independent. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
Well, let's see. What are you basing it on?
I base it on some of the things in the Constitution.
No,
I'll
no,
clearly
no,
say,
no,
I'll give
no,
you some
no,
example.
No, see, the
Go
point
ahead.
is, the Constitution is never ever wrong. It is always right. Now that's where you have to understand that anything that's supreme cannot be wrong.
Right.
You may disagree with it. You may have different views on it. That's a whole horse of a different color.
Right.
The Constitution is the final thing that you have when there's a dispute. There's a dispute now with the government of Bahamas. It has to be taken to court. The court has to make a ruling. When you go all the way up to the Privy Council rules on what the Constitution says, not what somebody think in their head.
Yeah, but now I must differ on you slightly.
You can differ.
And I differ with you as a result of evidence and proof and fact. The House of Lords, the Privy Council, they are the same men from both final judiciary committees. So far I'm right?
Yes.
The Privy Council judges rule. The final court of appeal for Bahamians. That's so far correct again.
Yes.
They has, over the years, they has made decisions slowly taking the Bahamian people down a path where hanging, corporal punishment will not be a part of the traditional way for serious offenses. I still correct so far?
I'm listening.
Oh, you listening?
listening.
You're switching up.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Listen.
See, I can answer you when you finish.
Well, you answer me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put it in the most literal way, so persons who listening can understand where I'm coming from.
No, you want to make it plain for them.
Right. And because I said it because the mindset in European countries, they don't believe in hanging. They think it's too barbaric way of life. Right? So human rights committees, the Privy Council, the House of Lords, their decision in England, they're against hanging. They ban hanging. In the Bahamas, they are slowly removing and putting obstacles to prevent hanging to continue. And the proof in that is that since 2000 was the last opportunity a hanging or last carried out, the last